Bell in terms of catches, third in receiving yards, third in receiving touchdowns with 8 of them this season. And, I just wanted to chat with the folks in Buffalo about his impact this year because the leadership really is showing up, especially with that little 2-game win streak or losing streak they had a couple of weeks ago. And listen, his leadership has been absolutely infectious this season, and the competitiveness, the juice that he brings to practice. I think it's important for people to understand how much he brings to practice, how hard he practices. One high-ranking official that I talked to with this Bills team told me very similar in terms of his competitiveness to a Steve Smith, our Steve Smith. And if there's a 50-50 ball for that guy, Stephon Diggs, it's really an 80-20 ball. He is a quarterback's best friend, as they say, makes life easier for Josh Allen in many ways. And I think he'll be a big part of today's game plan, as he always is, but really in this early kickoff here today. This is the shortest week in football. Remember that, a 12:30 kickoff, the shortest week of the entire season to prepare for any team.
How good are you? All due respect to Stephon Diggs, the lights go out. David Guetta and Debbie Rexa doing their sound check. David Guetta's on the 1-2s, and yet you just keep going.
Schrags, can we clarify something? The Twitter followers, they just absolutely are obsessed with us, right? So I said in my first report that this is the last time that the Lions went undefeated was in the month of November was in 1962. Well, of course, I meant 4-0. I meant an entire onslaught of games. Well, we had a Twitter follower come after us because in 2016, they did go undefeated, but there was a bye in there. So I just want to put it out there, Schrags, that we're talking about 4 games, the whole jam-packed month of November, because that would be a big deal for this team if they did it. Sorry, I had to say it.
The fact checkers are everywhere. You are never a deliverer of fake news, of only the real news. And I'm going to ask you, who would you say the key matchup for Detroit is in this matchup?
Jamal Williams, right? Leads the NFL in rushing touchdowns. He's got 12 of them. He also leads the NFL with 12 goal line carries. That is 3 yards or, from within the 3-yard line. He has more than Nick Chubb and Saquon Barkley combined. He's going to be astronomical in this game, but the lovable personality, the infectious, I used that word before, personality of Jamal Williams, these guys play harder for him, and he has become what these Detroit Lions represent, right? Blue collar, love for the guy beside you, a real brotherhood they're building here. Jamal Williams, guys, I think he's just going to be running all over the place, at least try to, against a really good Buffalo defense today.
Absolutely. Stacey, we appreciate you. We'll catch more from you later on a Good Morning Football, but you are just setting the table for the first game of the day. Many more matchups to look forward to on Thanksgiving Thursday.
We're not getting off the gas. We're not getting off the gas. Hey, let's go get one. Let's go get one.
I think it's a huge opportunity for us to show who we are, show what we can do.
Jones goes in for the touchdown.
We got to go out there and win this football game.
Elliott, spin off the guy and walk the dog. They're not physical enough. They're not physical enough.
Big time division game, Thanksgiving. They're going to come out fired up.
Touchdown, Giants. We ain't got here before. We can't hit whoop.
And knowing how good of a team this is, being a division game.
68 to Tony Pollard.
Huge. We're looking forward to going out there and playing really good football.
Here's some good news for the Cowboys, bad news for everybody else. Micah Parsons and DeMarcus Lawrence are going to be available today. What a thankful thing for the Cowboys defense. Lawrence, of course, playing through a stress fracture in his foot. He's got a screw in that foot already that he has dealt with in that injury. But to have them both in that defense, okay, look out. An NFC East battle that truly means something in this division. Feels really good. Giants, Cowboys. That's a feast on Thanksgiving. But it's been famine for the Cowboys recently. They haven't won on Thanksgiving since 2018. Will this Thanksgiving be different for the Cowboys? How do they make sure that plate of food is piping hot?
Yeah, I think it will. You just said they haven't won since 2018. They've lost 4 out of the last 5. They play all the time. It's 54 times they played on Thanksgiving. And as I watch this Cowboy team, they're going against the New York Giants. They're going through injuries and a lot of things for them as a team. But the Cowboys are rolling. They're coming off a huge game versus the Vikings where they put up 40 points. They held them to 3 and all of that we've talked about the entire week. But for me, the Cowboys are going to be back because they're going to be having fun out there. I want to see the Cowboys that we've seen of the past on Thanksgiving. Okay. I want to see guys put things in the kettle. You see right here, T.O. back in the day. He's giving too. Like, come out of Walmart or one of these stores. Then Zeke says, you know what? I'm not dropping the football in. I'm going all the way. And then he comes peeking out. And he says, you know what? I've had enough time. Dak, you get your butt in this kettle and you enjoy the moment. That is the Dallas Cowboys we want to see today. Guys jumping in that kettle. I don't know if we're obviously not going to see Odell Beckham doing a backflip into the kettle, but maybe we see Micah Parsons jumping in the kettle after a strip sack and he picks it up, or maybe he even does his own edition of a pick six like we saw LT do back in '82, and he's running down the sideline. So Cowboys find that kettle, jump in, have a great time.
Yeah, the Cowboys have not been good on Thanksgiving in recent years. The Giants have been downright dreadful. The last 3 times the Giants played on Thanksgiving, they lost 30-3 in Dallas, they lost 26-6 in Denver, and they lost 20-13 in Washington. So the Giants aren't exactly some locomotive coming. In fact, the Giants haven't won on Thanksgiving in 40 years.
40 years.
Oof. Which game was it? Can we bring up the same footage we saw earlier of Maurice Taylor having a pick six on Gary Danielson? 40 years ago, last time the Giants won on Thanksgiving. And I got to be honest, guys, last week at this time, I was thinking maybe Giants, playoff sneaky team, you get in the wild card race. I don't know if the Giants make the playoffs after last week's game to Detroit. Wow. And now they come into Dallas, and it's like they've got players that are injured. You know how long ago this game was? I asked our intrepid researcher and producer, Rich Goldberg. Happy Thanksgiving, Rich. Always working hard to give me this. The starting quarterbacks were Scott Bruner and Eric Hipple. Eric Hipple gets replaced by Gary Danielson in the game. The #1 song was Truly by Lionel Richie. Yes. And the #1 movie was The Empire Strikes Back.
Hello, what happened here?
Hello.
Lando Calrissian, Peter.
We love our guy, Billy D. Williams. 45 will be on the ice today. The Giants don't have great recent history. The Giants are all injured. Cowboys, this is a beat-up Giants team with no history on Thanksgiving. Go take care of business.
How will this Thanksgiving be different for the Dallas Cowboys? Did you see them play the Vikings last week? There is no other option for it to be different than this day for the Thanksgiving for the Cowboys. Kevin O'Connell had to keep his eyeballs peeled and watch this footage again just to get the Vikings right. The Vikings played poorly, but the Cowboys play out of their minds. And frankly, if this is the new standard for the Dallas Cowboys, I'm on board with it because this is really fun football to watch. This defense has not allowed a first quarter touchdown all season long. That is slow start city for anyone that they are facing.
Slow start city.
Slow start city. Peter, how many times has Dak Prescott beat the Giants?
Well, he's beaten in the last 9 times he's taken on, right?
That's the only time, 9 times he's taken on, 9 wins he has. So this is it. There is the only direction that the Cowboys can go against the Giants on this Thanksgiving is up because I don't see them slowing down whatsoever, especially with those 2 defenders.
Cowboys in a walk, is that what this is?
You know what would be really cool? And I'm not, if a giant jumped in the kettle. What if that happened? I don't think that that's happened on one of these games where the road player has done it. But, like, if Saquon jumped in
Who's got the personality to do it?
Yeah, and, like, he's like, this is my kettle. But I don't know.
How about Daniel Jones jumping into a kettle?
How about it? How about it? He's probably never even had a kettle one.
Yeah.
He's jumping in.
Then he gets out of it, and he pops out of the kettle, and he just, damn.
And then he just grins all the way to the sideline.
Daniel Jones
cannonballs in a kettle, gets out, everyone looking at him, and he goes,
bam! Happy Thanksgiving!
That's your turkey analogy right there.
That is really good. I don't know if it's happening, though. Oh, boom! Yeah! Look at that! So that's the dabbing turkey. Let me take you into my world for a second. I know this will shock our audience to hear that I live in the suburbs. I just live amongst a bunch of Westchester bros, like a lot of Giants fans. And I was kind of echoing Peter yesterday. Peter's basically like, I'm putting words in your mouth. Does it feel like the Giants might just get annihilated in this game?
Come off.
And I floated out there, and the text chain is not pretty. The clip made it on there. They're out for me. They're out for you. I had one of my players. You guys know I coach flag football. One of my players, one of my favorite players, Brian, is this great kid. Sent me a video draped in Giant stuff, being like, "I don't like what you said about my team, Coach Kyle." Brian, I don't love your team right now, do you? They don't have our offense, Brian, and the 7, 8-year-old level. I'm worried about it, too. Injuries, Dak annihilating them, kettle in the air. The Cowboys have a vibe right now. Like Jamie's saying, like, this is different than a lot of Cowboys Thanksgiving teams that we've seen. Listen, I would love to say Daniel Jones is going to jump in the kettle. In fact, there's nothing I want more of this entire day or maybe this year. But the Cowboys are loaded, and the Giants feel like maybe the balloon might have burst last week.
Kyle, you are a gift. You can speak to 70-year-olds and 7-year-olds alike. In one
Brian's
segment,
a great kid. Happy Thanksgiving, Brian.
Hey, it's time for Thursday Night Preview presented by DraftKings Sportsbook. We are just hours away from 3 star-studded Thanksgiving Day games. Here are the odds for today's games. The Lions have lost each of their last 5 Thursday games. Buffalo ranks top 10 in passing and rush yards per game, matched up against the Lions defense that ranks 28th in passing yards allowed per game and 31st in rush yards per game. Saquon Barkley has scored in 6 out of his last 10 games this season, and the Patriots have the second best defense in scoring points allowed per game, but the 20th ranked offense in scoring per game. Take a gander at that. Do with it what you wish, because DraftKings Sportsbook is an official sports betting partner of the NFL. And tonight only, new customers can bet $5 and win $150